Imagine this. You go on a first date with someone who seems almost perfect. They laugh at your jokes. They remember every little detail you mention. They're confident, charming, and unbelievably attentive. You leave thinking, where has this person been all my life? But 6 months later, they barely text back. They're impatient. The charm is gone. The person sitting across from you feels like a completely different human being. So what happened? Did they change? Or did you only meet a carefully designed version of them? Psychologists have studied this phenomenon for decades, and what they discovered might completely change the way you see first impressions forever. Here's something most people don't realize. Every single first date contains two people and two performances. Not because people are evil, not because they're trying to deceive you, but because human beings are wired to seek acceptance. Think about it. When you walk into a job interview, you don't immediately reveal your worst habits. You don't mention every mistake you've ever made. Instead, you present the best version of yourself. Dating works in a surprisingly similar way. Psychologists call this impression management. It's the unconscious process of shaping how other people see us. Without even realizing it, we carefully choose our words. We smile a little longer. We hide our insecurities. We laugh more often. We become a version of ourselves that's polished, not necessarily fake, just carefully edited. And that's where the mystery begins. Because if everyone is showing an edited version, how do you know who's real? But here's the disturbing part. Research suggests people aren't always lying on first dates. Sometimes, they're lying to themselves. Let's meet Sarah. She's funny, independent, confident, or at least, that's what Daniel believed after their first 3 dates. She always seemed calm, never complained, never argued. Everything felt effortless. Months later, Daniel discovered something surprising. Sarah wasn't naturally calm. She simply hated conflict. Every time something bothered her, she stayed quiet. She smiled instead. She convinced herself everything was fine, until one day. Months of hidden frustration exploded all at once. Daniel thought she'd changed, but maybe she hadn't. Maybe the pressure of pretending had simply become too heavy. Psychologists call this impression management. It's the unconscious habit of showing people the version of ourselves we believe they'll like the most. On first dates, we smile a little longer. We hide our insecurities. We avoid conflict. We carefully choose every word. Not because we're trying to deceive someone, but because we want to be accepted. The strange part is, most people aren't lying to you. They're performing for themselves too. Your brain does something equally fascinating. It fills in the missing pieces. One kind gesture becomes, they're always kind. One romantic evening becomes, they're perfect. Psychologists call this the halo effect. We don't just judge people, we create stories about them. So how do you see the real person? You don't look at their best moments, you watch their ordinary ones. How do they treat strangers? How do they react when they're stressed? How do they handle disappointment? Real character isn't revealed during perfect dates. It's revealed when life stops going according to plan. Maybe people don't change after the first date. Maybe they simply become comfortable enough to stop pretending. The first date isn't a lie, it's just not the whole story. So next time someone seems perfect, don't ask, is this the right person? Ask, have I met the real person yet? If this changed how you think about relationships, subscribe to Mind Mode for more psychology explained through real life. And tell me in the comments, have you ever realized someone wasn't who you first thought they were?